Now, the issues that we always had with the coordinate system is that it was never really associative. What do I mean by that? That if, for example, I created a home position, a coordinate system on a specific corner, and let's say afterwards the part got larger, okay, and then we actually updated the part, the coordinate system would stay where it was. In other words, if it was over here and the part now comes out to here, the coordinate system will still stay in that point over there, and it would not move. But now we've made the coordinate system completely associative, and we've made a lot more improvements besides that. We've also given a lot more visibility. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to go into coordinate system, and you'll note that we've added right now something called select associative face. Now, before I go on, in the future, when we see that this is probably working okay, there's some of these we will probably not need anymore. For instance, like select face, because this was one that is really what really should be used. Okay, in any case, select associate faces, you'll note that all of these fields are now actually windows. So when I pick something, you'll always see it over here. Same thing as we go down over here, all of them are actually something that we can see that has been chosen. Okay. Now also, you'll look at the place coordinate system origin at. We have 3 new options. If I open this up, you'll see we have auto location top, and auto location bottom. We still have these at this moment, but some of these may be gone because we may not need them anymore. But at this point, we're still keeping these for legacy issues, and we're still using the other options as well. Okay, I'm going to use the option of auto location top. What does that mean? If I were to go now to this field and click over here, auto location means it'll be to the closest point on top to that corner. You note when I click, we get the automatic box, and we have hot points on that automatic box. It'll go to the top, to the closest hot point. Let me go back here again. If I were to click, say, over here, it'll go to the closest hot point, which would be over here in this case. Okay? Let me go back and say one more thing. If I were to click, say, on the center of an arc, in this particular case, it will use the center of that arc on top, as you see over here. In other words, before you had to click in order to get something like that on the option of center of revolution face. The auto location now includes center of rotation face as well. Okay, let me go back now to my first choice. By the way, you'll note that when I click back in here, you see exactly what I chose as my pick face z-axis normal. Okay, let me go back here, and I in particular want to pick this option over here, this corner over here, which will bring us up over here. Okay, by one more point, had I used the old option of top corner of model box, that top corner was always over here, no matter where you picked it. And this was not good because in most cases, if you're using a vise, this side is the movable side of the vise, and it's not actually recommended to put the home position there. Whereas this side is usually the permanent side of the vise. Okay, so now you can decide exactly where you want to put it. I'm going to put it back at auto location top. It'll go closest to that corner. Okay, now you'll note now that it automatically jumps to direction. Pick X or Y. Now, it says automatic. Automatic means it goes according to the plane, the coordinate system of the plane of this particular window that we see over here. Okay? If I were to click the top view, you'll see that this is the plane, but you'll also note in this particular case that it's not really in the corner over here. Why? Because this particular part was 0.3 degrees on an angle. Let's say camera, for example, it was drawn that way. Okay? So this was always problematic. So I always advise, in any case, even beforehand, to always give an X direction. Now, when giving an X direction, I can pick now a face. I used to only be able to pick a line. Now I can actually pick a face. And it will go perpendicular to that face. Take a look at the top view now. You see it's exactly in its place. Now, going back here, you can see what was the face I picked for it to be the normal for the Z, and you can also see over here the direction for the X. Okay. Now, since this box is an automatic box, and this is something we control, this box, it should be noted, is associative. If the part changes, this box will update as well as where that coordinate system is. Okay. Now we have pick origin. Now, right now it says automatic because it's on that particular point that was given automatic. I can pick a different origin. If I pick it on the part, it'll move to that area. And you'll note the pick origin is now on vertex 27. If I click it back over here, it'll go on that sketch point over here. Click it back over here. I can do anything I basically want. Pick origin, and it goes back exactly there. Okay. We also have pick XY origin. Okay. For example, if I were to click over here and say pick this corner, only my XY will move. My Z will stay on top. But note now, there's nothing in the pick origin. My XY is on that vertex. My Z is still on that original point. Click over here, you can see that. Click over here, you can see this. In other words, everything is visible, so you know exactly where everything is. Okay. Pick Z level. That's something we didn't have before. I can actually pick a Z level. I want my Z level to be there. My Z level is now there on that level itself. Okay? I want to pick my origin back over here, and my origin will go back to over there. That's as far as these fields goes. Everything here, like I said, is associative. Now let's go back to my top view. You'll note also, as we go further down, we have modified rotation. And you'll also note we have a pin here. Now remember, my origin right now, my coordinate system is on the auto box that they created. Not on the part, but on the auto box. What does that mean? If I leave it on the auto box and I start doing a rotation, this is not pinned by, what does that mean? If I say in my Z, I'll put 30 degrees. Now note, it's on the auto box on the top left-hand corner. When I accept that, in other words, go to a different field, you'll note that my box now has changed because I wanted it on that corner. And that's my home position, according to that corner. Now, we always also have a reset button. Clicking on reset will bring everything back to where it was before. Now, if people do not want to have it actually flip around, in other words, they want to keep it on this corner, and they don't care, even if the coordinate system is like this, they want to keep it like that as well. They want to keep it on that corner. We can do pin. And now when I click on flip and I'll make it 30 degrees, you'll note that my coordinate system has just moved, but it stayed on the actual intersection of that part itself. Okay? Now, why do people want this? Because now they also have probes. And a probe today on the machine has no problem finding that coordinate system by touching on this side and then touching on that side. So all of these options, you have both of them, and you can decide what you want. I'm going to reset exactly to where I had before, and that's it. Right now, I'm just going to accept this. You'll note now my levels have associative fields. I'll get to my clearance level, why that should be associative as well. But right now, let's go to my part upper level. My part upper level, I want it over here. You can see that. My part lower level, I want it on the bottom over here. When I go back to this field, you'll see what I picked, as well as the bottom over there, you can see that as well. You'll also note that I've added the lower level delta, upper level delta, and clearance level delta. At this point, I can actually show you why we have the lower level delta. I want to keep this associative, just like in operations. I want to keep this associative. If I were to have, I wanted 2 millimeters past further down, if I write here minus 97, I'd lose the associativity. I want to keep this connected to the bottom. So all I do over here is write -2, and that's it. Let's just accept this for the moment. And what you'll note is that under my first position, we now see the associative, what was associativity over here. My upper level, you can see that. And let's take a look what happened with the lower level. My lower level, I have that as well as it shows me the delta that was chosen over there. Okay? I'll just accept that. And let's close the part. Now, you'll note my coordinate system is over there. Okay, let's do this on the top view. We can see that very well. Now, what happens if I go and open the part and have a little change in the part? For example, I'll take this part and I'll make this now, instead of 125 millimeters over here, I'm going to make that now to 130. We'll close the part, and of course we will save it. Now let's go back to my top view. You'll see that my home position right now is over here. That's where it was before. But my part is larger. Right click over here. Let's do check synchronization. You'll see now the coordinate system manager shows synchronization. We'll go back and synchronize. Note what will happen over here once I synchronize. It automatically jumps to its correct position. In other words, I wanted it on the corner. I had it on the corner of that box over there. Okay. Now, let me actually open up a different part for a moment and do something over there. I'm going to open up this particular assembly over here. And this is an assembly to save time and to show other issues that come up. Okay. You'll note I have here a part that has 2 clamps. I'm going to create my new milling project, create my coordinate system. Now do it the exact same way as I did before. Click on that face. Get the auto location top. And I always advise pick an X or Y direction. So I'll click over here. And I'm just going to leave everything exactly the way it is. Okay? Now let's go to our levels page. Now, if you remember before, I said we have now clearance level associative as well. What I'd like to do is, I'm not sure exactly what this value should be. But what I do know is that I would like it to be from this level, from whatever that is, in this particular case 15 millimeters, and I wanted delta to that another 10 millimeters. Okay? Again, my upper level is going to be over here, and my part lower face, I'm going to even pick this corner over here, this vertex over here. We can see that. And again, give it -2. I'll accept that. And what you'll see is very simple. We now have here also clearance level. If I click on it, you'll see the surface that I picked plus the delta going above that. Okay? Lower level, just as before. From that point, with another 2 millimeters going down. And I'll accept that. Now, what I'm going to do is make a change on my clamp. Okay? So I'm going to go to that clamp. I'm going to open it up. Because I found that the clamp that I have is not what it says over here, 15 millimeters, but it happens to be 30 millimeters. Okay? I'll accept that. Save it. Now you'll see that it's much bigger. I'll do check synchronization. I'm going to synchronize. And now let's go into our coordinate system manager. We'll go into edit, and you'll note that now the value is 30 millimeters, which was the thickness of this clamp, plus another 10 millimeters above that. In other words, so this is exactly where I want it to be. Okay? And without starting to guess what my clearance level should have been. Okay. Now, one more point that is very important. Remember that beforehand, when I did edit coordinate system, because I wanted to make a slight change to my coordinate system, I had to practically create it from scratch, from the very beginning. Now if I do edit coordinate system, it remembers exactly where I was. It shows me everything over here. And all I need to do if I want to make any kind of change, just go directly to where I want to change. Say pick Z level, I want it over here, and you know it'll jump down there. Of course, when I do that, all of this updates accordingly. Accept that. You see now my coordinate system is down there, and that's it. Again, I want to bring it back to the top. I'll go to edit, edit my coordinate system, and all I have to do over here is I don't have to pick this again like I did before. I'll go directly down over here to the bottom where I have my face that I picked, and I'll say, okay, I want it over here instead. And now it will move back to the top. And again, everything is back to where it was before.